Hello and welcome to another lesson on soundproofing. Today I'm really excited about this lesson because I have felt very deeply that I want to make my life a little easier, less stressful. And in doing so, I thought through a lot about how when we build studios, especially soundproof studios, we try to take a project that is already very complex by nature and make it even more complex by having an information overload of what type of soundproof wall should I do, soundproof ceiling, should I use green glue, should I use this, should I use that product, should I use this product, and it goes on and on and on. So in this lesson, I want to talk about a simplified method, a sort of straight shot way to build an amazing soundproof home recording studio using basic construction supplies and basic construction and doing away with all the crazy soundproofing stuff that's out there that you don't really need. All right, before we jump in, if you're on this journey of building a soundproof home recording studio, check out my free soundproofing workshop. This is 45 minutes of in-depth teaching you everything I know. I give it away for free. I've got nothing really to sell you. So this is just a free workshop to help you on your journey. I'm all about just giving on this channel and in this community. So to check that out, just go to soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. That's soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. All right, let's jump into this lesson on my simple soundproofing method. Okay, so first off, don't buy into the hype. As soon as you type in soundproofing, you're going to come across a substance like green glue or mass-loaded vinyl, and there's things like quiet rock or silent effects drywall or any number of underlayments like soundproofing mats and underlayments and things like that. You'll come across soundproofing curtains. You'll come across ISO booths like whisper rooms and sound bricks. You'll come across materials like tech sound, and you'll come across the idea that you can just use carpet glue instead of green glue. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know which to use. What should I do? And it's all so expensive. You might think you need to float a floor, and suddenly you're buying these soundproof U-boats from RLX that maybe won't work. You don't even know. So I understand it. I get it. I've been doing this long enough to know that we all go through this process of over-researching, overthinking, becoming stressed out, losing sleep at night, and thinking about your soundproof studio and wanting to do it right the first time and honestly wanting to save money and not get help from anyone. So I get where you're at. And I'm going to help you by saying that all that stuff I just mentioned, you don't need to get the results you want. So how do you build this simple soundproof recording studio? The way you do it is you start with a concrete slab. You can float a floor for sure, and some of my clients, I do have them float floors if we're in a pinch and they don't have a concrete slab, but I never recommend it. And if you can start by starting in a garage or a basement with a concrete slab or pouring a new slab in your backyard, that is your best floor option. You can put whatever type of floor you want on top of the concrete. You don't need to float it. Doesn't need to be soundproof. You don't need any special mats or anything. You will be good to go. All right. The next thing is you're going to use a double wall system. Yes, you can use all types of walls. You could buy a specialty wall design that I've seen out there. You could try building a staggered stud wall. You could use hat channels and clips on your walls. But the one wall design I keep coming back to is simply to frame a new wall at least 1 inch or 26 millimeters from your existing wall, and then putting 2 layers of 5/8 inch drywall on that wall and 2 layers of 5/8 inch drywall on the outside wall. If it's not drywall, just match the weight. It can be siding, it can be hardy plank, anything that has mass. And you can fill it with whatever cheap insulation you can find. R13 value works fine for inside walls. Get a higher R value for outside walls, but don't worry about buying really expensive insulation. Simple, that's it. Next, for your ceiling, use a hat channel system. It's simple. It's easy, it's affordable. Framing a new ceiling is hard. A lot of people don't have the ceiling space to lose to begin with, so I don't recommend it. Hanging a ceiling from ceiling hangers is expensive and difficult and requires more math and more expenses. Just buy some acoustic clips, put them on your ceiling joists, get some hat channel, clip them into the acoustic clips, and then put 2 layers of 5/8 inch drywall into the metal furring channel, and voila, you have your soundproof ceiling done. Next, for heating and cooling, I highly recommend using a mini split. In the United States, or if you can find them abroad, I really like the Mr. Cool DIY mini split. The reason being that you can install this yourself with some basic knowledge and tools, and you don't have to hire an HVAC specialist who can cost thousands of dollars. So this will save you thousands of dollars, and it is a quiet unit. It heats and cools great, and it's easy to install and make it soundproof. So that's what I go with my heating and cooling system, a simple, quiet mini split. Now, the mini split will not bring in fresh, wonderful air and fresh oxygen into your silent and airtight room. So you're going to need a separate system for ventilation and fresh air. For that, I always recommend using either an ERV, energy recovery ventilator, or an HRV, a heat recovery ventilator, and those are depending on your climate. So if you need to use the ERV or the HRV, and then I run the fresh air through a baffle box, and I run the stale air out through a baffle box and back into the ERV or HRV. Again, a simplified system. Don't overthink it. This is a great system. It works really well, and it will provide years and years of wonderful fresh air flowing in and out of your studio. So those are the main points, the main sticking points that a lot of people have with these studio designs. And so I wanted to show you that you don't need green glue, you don't need carpet glue, you don't need mass loaded vinyl to get the results you want. You can use just basic drywall, you can use acoustic sealant, you can use a couple of acoustic clips, you don't need to spend a ton of money on them. And the rest is all just basic construction materials you can find at your local hardware store. That keeps things simple. It makes it so you don't have to spend tons of money and tons of time wasted on shipping, very specific materials to your job site. So I hope this was helpful for some of you who might feel stuck at this point in your journey of researching a soundproof home recording studio or a soundproof room. Again, if you are on that journey, please check out my free soundproofing workshop. This is an excellent resource for going deeper, for getting beyond these videos that I do that kind of scratch the surface in a million different ways. So this will kind of pull it all together for you. To watch that, just go to soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. That is soundproofyourstudio.com/workshop. And I look forward to seeing you in there. All right, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week with some more advice on how to build your perfect soundproof home recording studio.